Hey everyone, apologies. I literally just got in the house. I almost didn't make it. Running a little bit late, but I have to start a print on my bamboo. Just give me 1 second. I'll be back. I am here, I swear. I just gotta start a print on my X1 here really quick. Delete. I need entry spacer. Where is this other part? I just gotta try and print some files out here. Top frame. Where is this? Why is this not in here? Entry. Water pot, Y carriage. Water rod mount. I guess this is it. I just want to get these going. Clone. Purple. Slice. Print. Okay. I got those printing. Hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome. Ugh. I'm not very prepared today. I just got in the door. But we are going to do some Panda Mini building. How's everyone doing? Need this over here. I've still got V0 parts over here and trying to figure out where to put Panda parts. Oh, sorry. Here, 1 second. Let's just. Is that better? Hopefully that'll help. Have my mic pointed correctly. Is that better? Okay. So my X1's printing some more gantry parts for Panda. I don't know how much will get done today. I would like to get a lot done and do a longer stream, but that depends on Amazon. So check my Amazon, see if there's been a delivery. Perfect, awesome, excellent. Let's see if anything's been delivered here. No, it has not, and I probably won't be getting it till 4, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're going to be building the version 3 bed. I have made a new bed with 100 millimeter 2020 and 150 millimeter 120. So nice and stiff to prevent flexing inward when the wheels are on. So hopefully that'll make the bed much more stable. And yeah, we're just basically going to assemble these new parts. We'll see how far we get. I think these are new pieces. So I've been printing pretty much all last night and printing some today. So all these parts basically are meant to be much stronger than the original. The original bed had some flex and stuff in it, so that's why I'm moving to a 2020 bed. It's less printing and it's much more stable. And then I have new parts to go along with everything, as well as my build plate will go on here as well. But I need some hardware. Would be nice. Those. Don't need a hoodie. Okay. Hey, welcome Da Vinci. Welcome. All right, so we are going to be assembling the front like spring perches and V-wheel mount here. Make sure I put these in the right orientation, just like that. So we'll flip this over. And these are going to go on just like this. Just like that. Thank you very much, Grethadose. Appreciate it. Sorry. Okay. So we're basically attaching everything to this 2020 frame. This is a bit overkill. If you're building Panda Mini, you probably don't need these corner brackets for a bed. You could just use 3D printed little brackets to hold the 2020 together. Really, all the strength we want is right here. We don't care about the strength up and down, or, you know, this doesn't have to be like insane. We're really just relying on this part of the bed, so that's all we're basically getting from that 2020. So these just use M5x8. So normally I will cut, or I will order my extrusion to the length I want, but I didn't have any 150 millimeter, so I actually cut these with a hacksaw. And I have a little tool, I think it's in here. Yeah, so I have, I forget what this is called, but it's like a slotted piece of aluminum so that I can put in a hacksaw. But most of my extrusions are all like 200, 250, 300. I usually don't cut my own because I don't have tools to cut precise stuff like that. Okay, there's one. So there's just two M5s held on here. Just to pop this in. You want these to be really, really tight, as tight as you can kind of get them without breaking the plastic pretty much. It's very important that these don't slide around and move and such. So just M5x8s. I've had to reprint these a couple times, so that's why I haven't released the updated version of the bed yet. There's a couple things that I wanted to fix and tweak and stuff like that as I went, so I'll release the newer bed after the stream. I'm still playing around with different springs and stuff like that, and like 2 springs I've added now. So the new parts, you can see there's a pocket for 2 springs instead of just a singular one in the middle. That should also help keep the bed level too. And I'm toying around with the idea of taking the springs away completely, so that's another option. Okay. Yeah, I could probably even make these longer just to give a bit more strength there, but this is the orientation of the bed essentially, and it's going to move up and down like this. We have our spots here for our springs for the bed, and then there's going to be another piece that goes here for the bed. So you'll have your springs here and then one right here for the tiny embed. Okay, those are all mounted up. So we're going to go ahead with the V-wheels. And I need a screwdriver here. And trying to find the other M5 that was a bit longer, but so these just thread into plastic here on the sides. Yeah, it's a little excessive with the corner plates, but it's definitely way stronger than the printed one, for sure, but you can't move the parts by hand. There's no flexing or anything like that. Like I can't take this and I can't bend it. It's really, really solid. These are 4 walls, 40% infill. They're like not going anywhere. The only thing that I'm trying to dial in right now is the springs. I have 2 different types, and I'm thinking that they need to be much stiffer than I originally thought to help the bed stay flat. Welcome, Gianna. Welcome. So these just thread in. There's lots of plastic for these to thread in. They roll nice and smooth. Over-engineered's like great, but when you start going too far, then you get into excess, and the corner brackets are a little bit excessive, I think. But hey, they work, and it definitely adds to the weight of the bed. The bed is definitely chunky, that's for sure. What's nice too about this version is there's no more spacers now. So before you had this large 3D printed bed, and then you had to have a spacer and then a V-wheel mount. So now that's all gone. So these it's just a single part. So the wheels go right into the actual 3D printed part. There's not 2 anymore, meaning the bed and the actual spacer. So that's very nice. So yeah, this is definitely an improvement, and there might be improvements even before then. Like I say, I'm not doing any other printers right now, like new printers, until the Panda Mini is as good as I can possibly make it. So this is it's still a beta. I'm trying things out. This type of V wheels on the bed is not been done that I know of for a Z like this. So you know, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do it and the most economical way to do it. So that's what we're trying. So we have those installed. Go ahead and install the wheels on these parts as well. It's a very fun build. I really do like Panda, and I'm going to be doing more YouTube videos on it, of course, as well. I got to make some more videos on Cappy, and I want to make some more videos and updates on this printer, so some actual YouTube videos too. Hey Diego, welcome. It's you always learn stuff like the more times you build a printer, like, oh, I could change this, I could fix that, you know, I could make this better, that type of thing. So that's what I'm trying to do on this. Just trying to make this printer as good as it possibly can before I move on to another one. I already do have a Mark 1 version planned next year for this. Yeah, these are pretty. So I've got ideas on doing a full Mark 1 build, but it's gonna be a ways out, obviously. The more people that build this printer, the more ideas we can come up with and make it better and better. I'll put the STLs after the stream, Russ. I had to change a couple things here and there with the parts, so I'm glad I didn't release them until I was assembling it last night. And then I made some more changes too, so just making sure all the hole sizes are correct and, you know, that type of thing. And I'm sure there'll be more revisions even after that, so. Yeah, you have to build one, Canrog. It's mandatory. Okay. I have my springs, of course, over here as well. So right now, I am still using these 20 millimeter springs. I'm going back and forth between the different ones. I have these 20 millimeters and I've got these 25 millimeter springs. They're different thicknesses and they're different heights. So what I've done here on these new parts, if you see there's a little hole here, this is for a heat set so that you can 3D print a small 1 millimeter plate and you can use that heat set, put an M3 in here, and it will adjust the tension of the spring. So I'm hoping if I have to adjust the tension, I'm just going to put the heat sets in here and I can adjust the tension to be more or less if I need to. So these smaller springs might work, but at the same time, if I have to, we'll make some modifications for these stiffer 25 mil springs to work as well. These are really small parts and easy to reprint. That's the idea. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to be using 2 of these yellow springs in there like that to actually keep the wheels, again, we're trying to keep the wheels nice and parallel with the 2020, but they do need to have a little bit of adjustment while going up and down just for differences in the frame. I want to do some changes to the frame also, but that will be coming in MK1, Mark 1 version. I'm not going to really mess with it right now because it's pretty decent already. So we'll see if we can actually get these in here without spilling everything all over the place. There we go. So work this in a little bit. exactly what I didn't want to do. And depending on your printer, you might actually have to do some filing to make it perfect, but these seem to be fitting okay. So you can see there, it should be much more even now on the top and bottom with 2 springs. That's the hope anyways. So oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm waiting for Amazon parts too. I wish they would be here a bit earlier because I could do more on stream, but we'll see what happens. If I can get this in here. Okay. These parts, I have not test fit these parts yet, so they're a little bit, still a little bit stiff and need to be worked in. Alright, so that's the completed V3 bed. Let's see if we can pop it into the frame. Let's move all this stuff around here if I can get the frame into a decent view. Hopefully. It's definitely, it's like not ideal, but my camera doesn't have a whole lot of room here for. See if that's better. So let's flip this around. So we'll just take the frame, we put it in like this here. Line up our wheels at the front. Actually, this is wrong. That's upside down. I want the corner plates at the bottom. Line up the wheels on the front here. If I can actually get them. Let's try that this way. And then you should be able to just rotate it into place is the idea. And I think I messed up the parts again on this. These here still need a chamfer. I had to take it out and I'm regretting that because they hit now. Something I did not foresee. So I should keep the chamfer. So what I did was I had to make some steps right here so that the bed could actually go all the way down to the bottom of the actual frame and you wouldn't lose build area. But in making these steps, I actually took out the corner chamfer and now it doesn't fit. So I don't even have a file, but maybe I can use side cutters and clip them. I'm gonna try. When you change parts last minute and forget to make the... I didn't think I needed those chamfers on the corners, but apparently I did, so... Let's take the wheels off and we'll see see what we can do. I don't know if I'll be able to modify them, but... I'm really dumb for not putting the chamfers back on. Yeah, F in chat, because now that it's going to rub against the frame if I don't have those. But we'll see if we can. I think it's just top. the top corners that I need to clip. But this is why I tried to test as much as I could beforehand. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to, maybe I can actually get an okay manual chamfer on here. I should get the frame up here so I can see when it's okay. Okay, so yeah, probably need a bit more. Yeah, pretty much. I need to steal a nail file or something, but it looks like I can clip these to some extent, so we might be okay. I'll have to go and edit the files and make sure that this chamfer is in there. I'm just gonna remove these so I can lay this nice and flat on my nice granite slab here, which is really nice to have. And at the end of the day, I'm just hanging out with all you, chatting. I have my X1 is printing some parts anyways, so there's no big rush. I have the lead screws. Amazon should be delivering the lead screws today and some couplers, and we could fully assemble the Z today if my package actually shows up, but these are low-key, just chill streams, no rush anyways, so I'll see if I can make this work while we're waiting. See if we can't shave off a good amount. I did have a set of files at one time, but I don't know what happened to them or what I did with them. Okay, there's an okay chamfer there. So we'll try to chamfer this one now too. It's not a lot that it needs, so like I say, hopefully we can get there. Hey Matthew, welcome to Discord. Project. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Yeah, this is a really awesome printer. I'm really happy with how it's coming along. It's definitely not done. It's still in beta for sure. But I mean, even my original beta printer still prints really awesome. And I plan on doing some more speed benchies and stuff like that with it here pretty soon. I have my original Panda just sitting in the corner over there because, again, a lot of printers, not a whole lot of room. Okay, let's see what progress we've made here. Couldn't you do heat set insert in the pink part? Use the hole from the heat set for the screw for tensioning the springs. I'm not sure what you mean about that one. Oh, Yeah, I mean the tensioner here should work fine. There's not a whole lot of space on this piece. Like there's nowhere for M3 to go in because it has to go in between the wheels. There's nowhere to tension, so an artisan's printer, yeah. Why did you start to build your own printers? Um, the first printer, it was mainly I had parts lying around and I couldn't use the parts. So it was like, you know, I really want to recycle stuff. I don't want to throw stuff out. So I really wanted to use up the parts I had. So I figured, hey, why not design my own Core XY printer? And initially I based it off of the Hypercube. So I was using some parts of the Hypercube and some of my own parts, and some parts from like an ANET A8 printer, and some random parts from just like all over the place. And the printer printed like shockingly really well. So I just, from there, I designed my Phoenix Delta printer. And once I made that Delta printer, I was pretty much hooked. I specifically like to try stuff outside the box and try my own thing. I just don't want to make another Core XY printer. I want to make something that's different and maybe is better in some ways, hopefully. That's the idea. All right, so let's just see if I can get this to... It's close. See if I can rotate this to get a better look. It's even got to go all the way down there too. Yeah, I guess the Rook definitely just happened. That one I just had an idea that I had to try. You know, and Panda carries over the Rook's tradition, right? Let's use the frame as part of the Z, right? So that's why I'm using, we already have the 2020 extrusions in the frame, so let's actually use it for the Z too. Cut some more out of here. Yeah, stuff happens for sure. It's not the end of the world, but I want to have my streams a bit better organized than this. And apparently I'm bleeding all over the place too. Okay, these are coming along. So my first printer was unnamed. I didn't even name it. Technically, my first printer was Simple Cube. If you search on my YouTube channel and search Simple Cube, that is like my first mainstream kind of Core XY printer that I put on YouTube and did like more than one video on it. And then that turned into Simple Core. But yeah, that definitely helped for sure. But my Phoenix Delta printer even came before then. And the Phoenix Delta was just, I wanted to make a modern Delta printer with like linear rails and stuff and clipper and see if I could get it to work. Okay, more trimming done. Let's see if that helps. I think maybe I'm just gonna put the wheels on the front and see what we get here. Yeah, I can officially say my blood, sweat, and tears have went into this now because we have the blood component. But this frame, just holding this frame in my hands, it's so much better than the first, or technically the second version. This is already way better. I would have preferred not to use 2020 on the frame to keep costs down and keep parts count down, but I want the printer to print good first before anything else, but and hopefully my other parts on my X1 will finish so we can start assembling like the gantry maybe. I do have the linear rods and bearings for the gantry, so we could do some progress. I have LDO motors for this. I'm doing higher quality parts on this build. So I have some really nice LDO 0.9 steppers for X and Y or the A and B motors on this. Yeah, Russ, your frame seems to work fine. Your modded one, it seems to have fixed the issues. Your Z looks pretty much perfect. You don't even need this version of it, but all right, so let's see if this is better now. All right, printer, do you clear? We are very close. Just a little bit at the top. I think we're really, really close. Just a bit more shaven. Okay. Sometimes the shop tools take and never find. I'm going to be using more than 8 extrusions off for higher thickness speeds. So, Matthew, I am going to be doing a full frame on this printer for Mark 1, but that's not going to be for till next year. I'm going to completely box this, so it's going to have bottom extrusions and a rear extrusion. I'm going to just completely box it in. That's for Mark 1, and it's not going to be for at least a year away. I have like lots and lots of other stuff that I have to get done. And the frame is fine for now. There's no real reason other than to just make sure it's as good as possible. But like I've been printing this at 40K acceleration, 300 millimeters a second, and it's been fine. The frame's not doing anything weird. It's just, it makes it easier to build when it has a full frame. Okay, we are shaving some more parts here, or trying to. I don't think I have a file. I should actually check. I did find one file a while ago, but where did I put said file? I don't know. This is the drawer of all my tools and stuff. I do have a Dremel. We could do some, this is charged. We'll do some Dremeling maybe, actually. I never thought of that. When all else fails, use a Dremel. Hopefully the sound is not going to be too annoying for stream. I think I want to take these wheels out too. Yeah, we'll Dremel this. We'll sand it down with a Dremel bit. It's not even the right bit for the job, but we'll use it. YOLO. terms of noise. Yeah, I don't know, like, it definitely quiets it down quite a bit when you put in the panels and stuff like that, for sure. So, you know, this version you can fully enclose it, and it definitely cuts down on the noise. This is a pretty quiet printer, though. Most all my printers are designed around the Meanwell 200 watt power supply, which doesn't have a fan. So there's no like fans constantly running and stuff like that when the printer's off. All of the fans in the build are GDS Time high quality fans, so they're not loud. So let's see if we can shave some of this. That smells horrid, but it works a lot better. I'm definitely can shave that down really easy with that bit. So I'm actually just going to save you. I'm going to mute just for a second. There we go. That should, that made things much easier, I think. I was able to shave that right down. So we'll test fit that and see where we're at. I technically did a Core XY printer before my Delta. My very first video. My very, very, very first YouTube video on the channel. It was a Core XY printer that I mishmashed together with a bunch of different stuff. And the print quality on it was really, really good. It was like hypercube parts. I made the Z myself using some like A-net aluminum brackets and stuff. I made my own tool head. It wasn't very good, but it worked. BL Touch. I didn't name the printer. I just kind of built it and then I took it apart type thing. So, all right. So I hopefully should have the clearance that I need now. And after the stream, I'll have to remember to modify the parts. All right, so let's see if we can check out the clearance now. All right. Oh yeah, that's way better. Yeah, it just clears perfectly, so we can assemble the bed. Or the Z, I should say. All right. Yeah, I definitely think it'll be this is going to be an improvement for sure, and there's still lots to even improve if needed. You know, it's not like this is the one and only try, um, and it has to work perfectly. There's so many ideas yet for the bed. Um, if this frame was fully boxed in at the bottom, you probably don't even need the springs at all, and then the bed would be 100% flat. That's the whole point of having double wheels. Is the bed? Those wheels are going to keep the bed from doing this. So we still have yet the option to take the springs completely out. That is a choice. Let me do it this way. I think. Now this should be quite tight. We'll see if we can. There we go. So, of course, you can one finger lift this up and down like you could before, right? It's like I pretty much can't move this up and down. Um, it of course works perfectly fine. So it looks a lot better for sure. It's definitely way, way, way more stable. Um, like if I tap on this one corner here, the whole bed is moving up and down. So it's quite tight. The tensioning is much tighter with these. So I'm using these yellow 20 millimeter. And yeah, they're pretty tight. Again, maybe they could even be like a hair tighter, because if these are too tight, it's not going to affect print quality. All that's supposed to do is if these 2020s aren't straight up and down, that's what the springs are supposed to do. Is it's supposed to allow the bed to still ride up and down properly, which of course it does. Like it's so smooth it can like it doesn't fall. But yeah, this is like the bed is moving up and down. If I like the bed is going up and down. It's not dipping. So this is a major improvement already from if we had the Z couplers in here and you leveled your bed with the springs during this is not going to be messing around. I think it'll hold your level a lot better and yeah, you can just let it drop and it's nice and smooth. So no, I'm happy with this. I just gotta fix those little chamfers in the front before I give out the parts. I'll put them on printables. I don't think there's a point to put on the old bed. I don't think. You know, you guys can let me know if you think you want both versions. I'm just checking to see if my Amazon stuff is showed up or not. Yeah, the time's getting pushed back more and more. So, what's my bamboo time at? We'll see. 24 minutes, and then my parts will be done on my bamboo. Would making the interface between the two spring holders key shape improve it? Yeah, I don't really know if there's any reason for that because this doesn't have to be really good. This just has to be really, really stiff is the only thing it has to do. It doesn't have to be smooth or anything like that because this doesn't affect print quality. It's just meant to ride tight up against this 2020. So, but I fully hope people modify this, try different designs, try different keyways. All sorts of stuff could be done to just this one piece. Like if you want to learn about designing and modding and stuff like this is a really awesome printer to do that on because it's got constraints with the big fans in the way. You really have to think outside the box. I even wrecked this. I stripped this one. You have to thread the backs of these, and I completely botched the threads on this. So yeah, this is These wheels, you can't spin them by hand. They're stiff up against the 2020, which is really, really good. I can't spin these at all. And yeah, this is like I can't tilt the bed. It's super, super difficult. So this is a huge, huge win for this. Um, Also, what's nice too is there's adjustable. You can slide the linear nuts back and forward because there's just going to be individual parts that go back and forward here. Same thing for the back. So you have a little bit of adjustment as well on that. And I have my bed. Luckily, I ordered this before FISEC or whatever messed it up. So I'm thankful that I ordered this when I did. So we'll have a nice, really nice aluminum tiny M bed there. I have the heater for this already. I think I need to order a thermistor for the bed, so because I got to Kapton tape it on the bottom. But yeah, this is going to be a massive improvement on this version of the printer. So. But yeah, this is really, really nice. There's no doubt that this is an upgrade from the original bed. So, and it's technically less material, I think, like printed material. If you want to print these really, really strong, you know, four wall, 40% infill, but. Yeah, I'm very, very happy with how this is working. There's no flex in any of the parts, the printed parts. And the wheels are all nice and fully contacted. Yeah, I don't change any of the bill of materials, so it's all the same parts. But and like I'm not even worrying. Like I say, these springs could probably even be a hair tighter. If you really, really try, you can get the bed to wobble a little bit. I don't think you would see that in printing or probing or anything like that. If you're doing auto leveling or whatever. I think this will stay, you know, where it's supposed to be, but like I say, there's going to be more and more iterations and stuff like that if needed, but I'm much happier with this already. But you can see the bed's at a little bit of an angle, like it is tilted slightly, but that's what your bed leveling springs are for. All that you want to care about is it doesn't move while you're printing or like, you know, homing or anything like that. But it's really, really nice. So yeah, that's an option too. But the hole that you see here for the heat set, you can come in with an Allen and you can push in the springs more with the heat set if you really need to fine tune. But you could even put, another option is you could put two heat sets, one on the top and one on the bottom, so that you could adjust the angle of the spring tension too. That's also an option, Russ. That might be a good option for yours if you wanted to incorporate like two tensioner holes so that you could actually push in the spring individually, one on the top, on the bottom, if you wanted to correct any sort of weirdness. But like I say, the bed is more resistant to tilting already. So I'm totally fine with how this is. My original version worked okay too. I didn't really have any problems with it, but I was only printing like really tiny stuff, but my first layers were always spot on. But I was printing benchies and little things a lot, so. And I do have more parts printed out. I have the motor mounts. Hopefully I didn't adjust that too much. And like I say, I've got some really nice LDO motors for this as well. Yeah, really, really small prints. You can't, there's no warping that can happen, and this is like really, really stout. So I'm curious for you guys to try the bed out and see how it works. I'm happy with this though. Even like like I say, the original bed was okay, but this will be much better. And it is very, very stiff from wobbling. So let's just set that aside now, and we can. I should be able to mount my motors. So I splurged on this build and I bought some LDO 0.9. I don't know if you can see that, but some LDO, really nice LDO motors. I'm going to, yeah. So I ordered some of these because, again, I don't want bent motor shafts or anything like that. I want really, really nice print quality, so I spent some money on some nice motors and also some Gates pulleys as well. I think are over there. Yeah, so oops. I ordered some of these. What else do I have over here? I ordered some really nice Fushi bearings. Grab these. I have to lube these still. So I have some nice Fushi bearings as well for this build. Yeah, I went with 0.9 to help with VFA if I had any, and also I bought some Gates pulleys. It's also one big reason I use F695 bearings because they are precise. They're round. They're the proper size. They don't have any wobble to them. So I got to pull off this support here on the motor mounts, but the Bamboo Studio supports are very easy to take off usually. Yeah, like it just, this is, again, if your slicer doesn't have supports that do this out of the box, that's a big no-no for me. I mean, there's essentially no cleanup to this. I literally just pulled it off. I have like 2 little lines that I have to kind of pick away at. Yeah, and then we have a nice part. So I've got a couple little supports. They just peel off, and then just one of the holes got filled up, but that's easy. Usually just a simple twist and grab pulls that out. So this is our left motor mount. And again, I don't even have to really try with this. Usually it's like butter. Just get any little tiny stragglers that are still on the parts, but and one little spot here. There we go. And there's our right motor mount. So I should be able to install these motors now and set the pulley heights and stuff like that. Hey Ian, welcome. So I should measure the height. Okay, let's try and get this correct here. 6 millimeters is what I need for this. 6 millimeters. Let's go and get. Okay, so and that's this. So we're just gonna set the height of this pulley here. Get it as close as we can. Yeah, pretty much these are flush with the top of the motor shaft, I should say. So it's pretty much just flush with the top is how hey Joseph, is how the pulley height is set, but you can fine tune it, of course. I'm pretty happy with this. Just want to adjust it really ever so slight. So you should be able even to just set it on a flat surface and make sure that the pulley is touching the bottom. Same with the motor shaft, and it should pretty much be spot on. So we can lock this going. Oh, not too bad. Had to do some dremeling today. That was always fun. So there's our left sure we get the wire in the right orientation. And I need some M3 by 8s, I think. Yeah, it always comes down to time. There's never enough time. But you should see some more of Canrog's designs once people start building the Rook 180 MK1, because he was responsible for the Mark 1 Rook 180 version. So that's going to be the next build. I have pretty much all the parts from it, from my old 180. Stupid. Yeah, time to build and supplies for sure. All right, there we go. Make sure these are all nice and really tight. Oh yeah, that would be a possibility too. There's a lot of potential for sure. Although, yeah, Cappy, there's a lot of like individual parts, so it might be very expensive. Yeah, for sure. Finish off that 2020 Rick, definitely. All right, so that is looking great. Hopefully, I'll have clearance for that, but so one LDO motor there, ready to go. And then this one should go like this. I do need to put one more bolt in that. Yeah. Yeah, they're both awesome printers for sure. The don't get me wrong, the LH Stinger is really cool, but it's very expensive. It's an expensive printer for a reason. It's definitely a high-end machine, that's for sure. How much time do you spend in CAD before doing your first print? Um, Johan, it depends on the printer. A lot of times I'll design and build at the same time. So I'll do one part at a time. I'll print it out, make sure it fits, move on to the next part. Print it out, make sure it fits. But usually I won't start that until I get pretty close to finishing a large portion of it. Yeah, it's definitely expensive, but you can see why. Like it's obviously a really high end printer, and prints really good. Cappy is definitely more for beginners to just get their toes wet with speed. Oh, I'm dumb and I forgot to put the pulley on this guy. I think this is 6mm too. Yeah, my next Delta is going to be a Mini. My next Delta is going to be a Mini, like 120 size Delta. It's going to be really cool. I'm really excited to bring a Delta printer into, being inexpensive and fun to build and get a lot more people into Deltas. This is 6.2. All right, so this. All right, we'll set the pulley height on this one. It's pretty much the same though. So we can get it really good just by putting these both on a flat surface. Make sure we have it in the right orientation though. All right. Okay. That pulley is all mounted. Put this back on. And then put this. I have not had any coffee today or anything. All right, there we go. Motor pods are at least complete from that perspective. I need to check, see if I got any. I want to keep checking to see if Amazon showed up with my package or not. Nope, not yet. I do have some prints on my X1 that I'll go grab. Some fresh parts. So I have all the gantry parts. So we can probably install some of the. Yeah, that's a good way to babysit. Bring a 3D printer, and then you don't have to worry about anything. The kids will be entertained. Okay, so I have the gantry spacers printed out here. You can take these out after you are done assembling the gantry. You don't have to leave them in if you want to save a bit of hardware. Yeah, the race, the the walking rook. It's the good one. Can't race the good one. Plus, it probably has a geared Z on it, so it probably doesn't move as quick, the Z anyways. Hey, Nuno, yeah. Brand new bed design. We had to do some dremeling, but it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Any adjustments on this? The gantry on this is lower by 10 millimeters than the original. And the belt path in the back, I saved 8 bearings, so there's 8 less bearings, but all the gantry is the same. All right. So these space out the gantry so that you can get them at the gantry at the right height. So for instance, our left motor here, this would be going right here, and it'll index to that gantry piece, right? So you know exactly where the height is and you can lock it in there. So I don't know if there's anything else that we can do today with the parts that I have. Like I was saying, I do definitely have the linear rods for this printer, but I do need to grease these and stuff first before they get installed. Yeah, 10 millimeters lower. I think you'll lose 10 millimeters of Z. You have more room for the Bowden tube though, which is more important than 10 millimeters of Z loss. I mean, this printer is generally going to be like really great at fast mechanical parts, benchies, that type of thing. 100 millimeters of Z travels a lot on this. But yes, there is a 10 millimeter drop to the gantry. And generally how I assemble this is I will slide in my rods onto the parts first. So like, I'm not going to fully do this because I'm still missing some parts, but so generally how I assemble this is I will put them onto the rod and then I'll actually pull them out. So we can see here. That's the easiest way to assemble this. So essentially just like this. Then you can actually bolt the parts to the extrusions and then you can insert the bearings. You cannot insert the bearings beforehand. And it's best to twist the linear rod in to the frame because it does have a very tight tolerance. The ends of the linear rod have to go inside the channel a little bit. you'd have to do all new panels. If you wanted to extend to the Z, you'd have to do all new side panels. So all the panels on the top, you'd have to cut and extend them by 10 millimeters. Not the end of the world, but the top panels would have to be new. You might have printed the 10 millimeter Nuno. That's been on printables for a little while. The 10 millimeter version, like the 10 millimeter drop. So you shouldn't have to reprint. Let me see if I can measure this for you. Your gantry spacers should be like 48 millimeters, roughly. 48, 49 millimeters, you'll have the right parts. That's really all you need to print out. And then, while you can tell it's missing, these are the newer motor pods that have less bearings. You can see clearly that I got rid of it all on the tops and bottom. So this would have normally had bearings here as well, right here. But this shelf is all gone because it now just kind of goes on an angle. So those have been on printables for a while. Yeah, the panels, one of the side panels is new, but that's about it. Yeah, I can show you my old printer and you can see what parts are newer. So here is a fully built Panda. Anything that's in white is new. So again, the gantry spacers are white, they're brand new. This is the old version 2 bed. This panel, these two bottom panels are new, or were new. They're technically not new anymore. This has been on printables for a little while, a few weeks for sure. The rear panels are brand new. But yeah, that is this is what we're building for anyone who's unaware. This is the OG Prototype 0. And this printer has bad pulleys. You can feel them when you move the gantry. You can feel the stuttering because the pulleys on the motors are bent. They're not good. But you don't want to use bottom panels, Canarog. That's where the fans mount. You'll have to change a lot of mounting. You can change the top panels though. You can just cut the panels in half, the top panels, and extend them by 50 millimeters. So that's not a big deal. The top ones, nothing attaches to the top panels, so it's really easy to do that. You will have to do some changes with a couple holes on the back top panels. So you have your electronics mount on the top panels, so you'd have to cut those in half and just move the mounting holes for the electronics. Yeah, or add a panel in between. Yeah, this guy has done a fair amount of quick prints. This was my test bed. It has a glass bed still. It has a heater now though. I do have the front door and everything for this printer too. I completely took this apart and I printed the new parts. That's why there's white parts on here. This was the newer bed, but I've replaced that. Yeah, that's not too bad to extend it that way. That's a really big gap there. Yeah, some people love their Z height. I really don't use any Z height at all, so. But yeah, I think that's kind of it for this stream. Next Saturday, we are going to be building my Voron 0.2. I did a little bit of progress on it. I did a little bit off stream, like the tedious stuff. So here's the status of my V0.2, which we're going to be doing next Saturday. So I have put the motor pods on, and I've finished the frame, but that's pretty much all I've done off stream. So this is a preview of where we're going to continue on next Saturday. I've got the motors all mounted on here. The tensioner knobs are ready to go. We'll be running belts pretty soon, I would think, on this guy. Because yeah, there's going to be some comparison videos. This versus a Rook versus a Panda Mini, all sorts of stuff like that. So, but pretty happy how this build's coming out too. And like I say, this is next Saturday's stream is going to be the 0.2, my Voron 0.2. I've got most of the parts printed out for it, but I still have to print out like some cam locks here in white and a few tool head parts, but most everything else is printed out. So we will resume this for sure next Saturday. Next Saturday might be an earlier stream, might be 10 to 12 or something like that, Mountain Standard Time. So I've got LAN party and stuff like that happening on Saturday. So it might be an earlier stream, maybe like 9:30 to 11:30 or something like that. And we'll start building this guy. I'll have to think about that one, see when the time would be best. But that's kind of all I have for all of you. I appreciate everyone checking the stream out. I had a lot of fun. We got to use a Dremel. We got to modify some parts and stuff. Toss a chamfer on there to make the bed parts. Transfer on there and make the bed parts available. Yes. Yep, right. As soon as I end this, Russ, I will chamfer those for you, and I'll put them on. I will put them on Discord in a zip file and printables. Hey, Steve, welcome. Just about to wrap up for this one, but next Saturday we're going to be building a Voron 0.2, so I can make some more mistakes building this guy again, but I've done a little bit off stream. We finished up a lot of the work on the Panda frame, which I'll bring back up. So we did get a lot accomplished here today. I'm pretty happy with how this went. So we're pretty good on this, but again, I need a little bit more parts before we can get the motion system, the gantry, all finished off. But really happy where Panda is for this stream. So appreciate everyone joining and chatting with me and having fun and dremeling out the parts and stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of a wrap on this stream. I was hoping Amazon would show up and we would have more to do, but I don't have my all my idler bearings or my lead screws are not here. So that'll be for maybe next Saturday. But the Saturday after this one, we're going to do the 0.2. So appreciate it, everyone. And thanks for tuning in and hanging out. Definitely check out the Panda Mini channel. And I'll catch all of you guys on the stream on Saturday. Like I say, it might be an earlier stream or it might be a stream around the same time. But I'll let you know. Have a good weekend, everybody.